Darren Rovell with Cllct TV, and I am here with Cllct reporters Ben Burrows and Will Stern, and we are talking about the only thing in the hobby that is going on, not really, but a lot of people are talking about the triple auto and where the is it? Ben had a great story. He's been continuing to write on the triple auto beat. And for those who don't know, Topps came out with this triple auto card as part of the Olympic basketball set. This is the ultimate redemption in this. For 4 days, you could have bought it in August, and we've been waiting for the redemption to show up in someone's packs. And here we are, 2 months later, and nothing has shown up. Ben, why don't you share where it could possibly be?
So, Darren, this is sort of where things get complicated because it could virtually be anywhere. Topps has admitted to us that, and this is by design, they have no idea where it is either. They brought in a third-party auditor to confirm that it was randomly sent out to this lucky purchaser of the original base card. They know that it went out, but they don't know who it went to. Now things get complicated because obviously people buying the base cards were hoping to get this gold one of one. So you'd assume that the majority of these packs would be immediately opened. But unfortunately, or fortunately for some people, those packs have hit the secondary market. And so now there's worry that the gold one of one might just be perpetually trapped on eBay. We can ignore that. I don't think we really need to talk about whether or not it's been lost or anything like that. But there is serious concern now, assuming that the majority of people are probably either going to open the packs or sell it, that maybe it's just stuck on eBay. And one
Okay,
of those
let me
then
take people
sold.
back. What is
Yeah.
the actual? So if I ordered, you could get like a group of five. If I ordered this thing, does the pack look different when I get it? Now, I call it a redemption, but does the pack actually look different?
So it actually does. So the original, the base card is going to come in sort of like a cardboard pack that you can flip open and it opens up. This pack that people are actually chasing, there's 1,688 of them that were randomly inserted into orders for almost 590,000 base cards. That looks exactly like a traditional pack that you would pull out of a regular box. It would just contain at net right now just the redemption. The physical card does not actually go out to anybody yet. There have been some that have been posted on eBay. Those are all fake. This is just a redemption, and it's going to look exactly like a regular pack that you would pull out of a box. And it says this may contain a short print, a parallel, or the one of one gold triple auto.
Okay, Will, what do you think about all of this? Obviously, I think most people would not want Topps fanatics to know who was ultimately going to get it. But how long can this go on for before you think Topps needs to ask the auditing company, hey, at least let's try to find out who might have originally gotten this?
Well, I mean, look, I think it's a really good thing that Topps doesn't know, right? Because if they did, all the conspiracy theories would be coming out, right? They did the right thing, I
We're
think.
not giving Darren Rovell the triple
Yeah.
auto.
Well, yeah, of course, right? Like, so they did the right thing with keeping that kind of blind. And this is clearly not the intended consequence because for them, the marketing value and the value of the card is the highest if it's pulled as soon as possible, right? We had bounties up to what was the highest one?
A million because it was Giannis was double
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
last
maybe
month.
Giannis is going to buy, right? And all that hype has died down. So that's a problem.
Ben, at what point is this not good for Topps? At what point? We're 2 months in.
Well, I think we've already started to get close to that. I talked to some of the guys that originally put out the bounties. I talked to King Golden. He thinks that the value of the card is going to go down the longer that this goes on, the more these gold one of ones from other Panini or Topps Now sets get put out. Panini Instant does one of ones as well. The more of these print to demand cards that come out, it's going to
The
lower.
more far away from the Olympics we are.
Exactly. Jeff Wilson originally had a $250,000 irrevocable bid. He doesn't want to go up any higher than that. I think interest has been lost a little bit. And then I think people that are selling these packs are gonna start to get a little worried because the chances of you having that card are slowly going up. But we also don't know of the 1,688 that got sent out, how many of those have actually been opened. We have an idea of how many have sold and how many are currently for sale, but we don't actually know how many have been opened.
Will, you have a thought on this?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about the kind of course of action Topps might take, right? Because whether or not they find a way to send out a new redemption or something, I don't know what that
Well,
would
there
actually
can't be
look like.
another triple. They won't
There can't be
create. They
another.
can't do it. They
They
can't
can't,
do that.
and the
Yeah.
expiration's 10 years if I'm correct, Ben.
Ah, right.
Um, the the most comparable example, maybe a lot more significant as far as value, would be the single best LeBron card by many people's opinion is his 2003 one of one Ultimate Collection with the logo man, which has never sold, has never been graded. There's rumors it's been pulled in China, right? That seems to be always the thing of when there's a missing card.
And we're on year
So some collector
21.
in China's
Year
pulled.
21.
Exactly. So that to me, and to this day, right? People are still talking about that. Could we see in 10 years people are still sending around these sealed packs on eBay and the prices go up from what are, 2 or 3 grand to 10 grand? Probably not, because it's capturing a moment. It's a Topps Now card and it is now later. Um,
Could be a
but
good sponsorship. Tops now and later.
but there's precedent for that. So it's not as if it's unheard of. But look, it's certainly not what Topps would have wanted from a marketing perspective. And collectors obviously wanted the chance to pull it, and they still do, I guess.
Ben, is there any changes that happen as a result of this? Obviously, we're not going to sell 588,000 of these things in the future, but is there any changes that would be made, such as a, digital redemption immediately known or something like that?
Yeah, I think probably to avoid this again, Topps needs to coordinate with a third party auditor to try to figure out, okay, they know who this went to. Topps doesn't know who it went to. And after a certain period of time, maybe they start digging around a little bit more because I think it's admirable that Topps and Fanatics went for this level of transparency. But I think the amount of transparency and attempt to avoid knowing who it went to has actually started to hurt them on the back end a little bit. I think there's a time frame where it hurts more than it helps.
There's
And
a big difference between knowing and Michael Rubin showing up on the doorstep of someone. You can
sure,
still know and say, trust us, or show the auditing process. Uh,
sure.
okay, this is how we're ending this thing. Your predictions. Does the triple auto in the next 3 years show up? And if it does it show up with the original person who got it sent?
I think it does show up. I do not think it's the original person that had it. I think now at this point, chances are better that you have some hobby influencer that comes in and decides that eventually they're going to buy up 20 of these packs and they're going to make a video about it and they're going to spend 50, 60, $70,000. And worst case scenario, it's a marketing play and you get a ton of YouTube views. Best case scenario is you get potentially $1 million card.
Will,
I'm going to couch it a little bit. I think if it doesn't show up in the next 6 months, it's not showing up because people are only going to care less and less. And that move that Ben mentioned of someone buying up all of that as a marketing ploy, as well as to potentially pull the one of one, isn't going to be something anyone's going to want to do in a year from now because it'll be the next big thing they'll want to chase.
I think it shows up, but I think it shows up in a time frame where we've moved on. And I think the bounty or the price, if someone's willing to put out a price for it not to go to auction, is under $100,000 by that time. So that's my prediction. Ben Burrows, Will Stern. I'm Darren Rovell for Cllct TV, and let's just wait and wait for that triple auto to show up. If you got it, tell us, show it to us.